Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the last episode of the React card series where we're creating very nice animated well-designed cards in React with CSS. So I guess that's rather simple and maybe good for someone that's just starting with React. We have our wonderful blue pop design we did last time. As you can see, it is shifting, changing. It is definitely eye-catching. We still have two designs to do. So one's gonna be a green frame and then the worm filter. So let's get started right away. So again, this is gonna be a card. And we're going to provide props here. We need the image, and we're going to take it from the image URLs array. Again, these are coming from the Splash. So you can get great background images for free from that website. I recommend it highly. Image URLs index 1, and we need the card class name, class name, that's gonna be card class green frame, and we're set to go. As you can see, by default this is already looking good thanks to our style CSS file that is used to create the shared styles between all the cards. This is already centered and looking rather nice. Of course, our job here is to create another CSS file called green frame CSS and to make it look better. I'm going to start by importing our CSS file, even though it's empty, so that I don't forget about it later. Okay, that should be it. And let's start working. So first things first, I'm going to change the background color. So let's do background color. Let's do a nice greenish color. Okay, as you can see, it's already looking better, and we can see a little bit of overflow here at the bottom. We'll fix it, don't worry. We're gonna change the height. Okay, that's the max height. Let's go with green frame. Let's start by the thick caption. I'm gonna give it a little bit of padding, so I'm gonna go with 3em. That's basically should be translated. If you don't know about em and rem, they are basically 1em is calculated as 1 unit of base font size in your document, meaning that if your document has a font size of 12 pixels, then 3em is gonna be equal to 36 pixels, right? So that's great if you'd like to have all of your paddings, margins, and maybe even widths and heights calculated based off of one value that you can easily change. Okay, this is good. We have to change the width of the image the height. green frame image. Okay, now that's how we get done with the overflow. As you can see here right now, yeah, our image and our figure, this is 300 and our image is also 300. So they match and we don't have that strange overflow anymore. We have to style our paragraph a little bit. So that's gonna be reset the margin, change the padding. Okay, we will have to change the font size and make it way smaller. So, well, we'll see. That's good enough for now. Okay, let's bring the opacity down as we're gonna animate the opacity, of course, and we're gonna translate, transform and translate the Y. That's gonna be minus 16 pixels. So if we bump it up, you can see that this is translated, and again for y-axis, the if you provide less than 0 value, your text or your node is gonna go up because let me just clear canvas. Standard coordinate system, as you may know from the math, is looking like this, right? That's the plus and plus values and minus values. That's different in programming world. We tend to have the coordinate system locked to the top left corner of the screen, meaning that the x is going like this, and that's the y, and that's the x. Meaning if I'm gonna provide the minus value for the y, our node is gonna move up, and if I'm gonna provide plus value for the y, our node is gonna go down. So that might be a little bit counterintuitive for the beginners, but that's just how it is. Okay, I believe we have that figured out. What I would like to do, what's gonna be kind of cool effect, is to create, as the name suggests, a frame around around our text, and that's gonna be interesting to see, I hope. So let's start by, we're gonna use before and after pseudo elements. So let me start styling those. I'm gonna take the fig caption before, and the same is gonna go for the green frame fig caption after. And these elements, these pseudo elements, are great for many things, but especially the styling or design hacks. So we're gonna go with position absolute. To show it, you have to provide the content, even if it's empty. Position. Okay, and then set opacity to 1. Nothing's there, but maybe, as you can see, if I provide some content, they're gonna show, right? So this is before, that's the one above, and then there's the after. If we go here and find our fig caption, as you can see here, there's the before and after, and you have to activate those by specifying by using CSS and providing content. Of course, change the content. And oops, and I screwed this up, sorry. You should be able to change the content, and it doesn't change. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I'm gonna change it here. It's gonna render. We want it to be empty for a reason. And now let's go. Yeah, let's go with the before. So we're gonna take that class. And what we need is to create a border that will imitate the frame. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna move it a little bit. We'll be using the fact that we have the position absolute. Bottom, it's gonna be 50 pixels, left 30 pixels, okay? And I can do border top 1 pixel solid FFF, hash FFF, and the same goes for the border bottom. And as you can see, this is starting a little bit, look a little bit like a frame. We have the top and the bottom corner. As you may imagine, I'm gonna use the after element. Let me just show you that right now. Fit caption, and there's the before. And after, this is our before. Maybe I can show it a little bit better with background color set to, okay, yeah, it's as you can see, it's just a rectangle, right? And we're using the border to create a frame. So I'm gonna do the very same with the after, and I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use that pseudo element to create the left and right border. So and here, as you can see, I'm using position absolute, but I'm describing two corners, not only one, to create the rectangle. Okay. Before, when we were using position absolute, we were using just one set of these attributes to denominate the position of a given element. Now we're using to create the first, let's first starting position, right, and the second one. Okay. We're gonna use this, just that. We're just gonna change it to border come on, left and right. And as you can see, we have the frame in place, but I'm gonna hide it for now, and I'm gonna do it by scaling it to 0. So for our top and bottom, I'm gonna scale it to 0 on x-axis and 1 on the y-axis. And as you can see, they're gone, and I can bring it up by just specifying 0 here. The same goes for our border here, but that's gonna be 1 and 0. Okay. So now what I would like to do is whenever someone hovers over our green frame, so get that and get that, And on hover, I would like to show my frame. So yeah, I'm gonna transform scale to 1. Okay, and now it shows. So great. No animation yet. So I'm gonna get that. Let me think. I'm gonna get that and just say transition transform 0.45 seconds. Now it's kind of cool. What we could do also here is change the opacity and transform that to a little bit better. Just that additional oomph to that. Okay. That's not the end, of course. We're gonna also transition our text and our image just a little bit. So get that and at the hover, I'm gonna bump the opacity and translate to 0, 0. Okay, so to make that work, we have to transition it before. So let's get that. And also let's grab our title. So it's gonna be H2. And we're gonna translate. Okay, that's gonna be a little bit problematic, but we'll figure it out with that overflow that you see here. What else do we need? Well, basically, we're gonna transition everything in the same way. So I'm gonna say EMG and I'm gonna say P if we need it and H2. Okay, this is almost nice. The text isn't changing its position, which I don't like, but we'll figure it out. Oh yeah, that's because we're missing that one. Okay, now it's cool. Although maybe not with the opacity change. So I'm just gonna create another selector here. Okay, what we need is also our text to pop up. So maybe do something like this. I'm gonna copy that, add a paragraph here, change the opacity to 1 here. Okay, and I'm gonna take our paragraph, set the opacity to 0, and then it should change to 1. Okay, nice. This is almost what I wanted. The issue here is with the overflow of the image. We should be able to fix that. Yeah, it looks a little bit stretched now, so maybe we can bump the width. Can we? It is a little bit stretched, so okay, this is looking good enough for me. Let's check the image now. It's here. Let's see. Oh, maybe without the max width. Yeah, okay, so can do max width unset. Does it change anything? Well, yeah, that's good enough since I wanted to create another card with you. That's definitely eye-catching and animating nicely. What we could do though, this white text isn't really visible. So one thing we could do is to add a little bit of background color here. RGBA, it's going to be 000.2. Oh, that's not here. That should be for the paragraph. Okay, we don't have that selector, so let's create one. So that one and that one without, well, we can do with hover. Okay, a little bit more readable if you ask me. That's fine. And next card. So basically we can copy all that. I'm gonna take the next image, take the warm filter, name it warm filter here. Okay, it already adds up to something. What we need, of course, is the CSS file. Import it. Okay, we're done with that, and we can start figuring out our warm filter. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a gradient here. So you could do that to change the background to be with the gradient. And I'm gonna go with the linear gradient, and that's gonna be going across with 45 degrees. And now we have to specify the position of the colors. So bear with me, 22682A starting at 0%, Then we have 9, 5, 4, A, 1, B, starting at 40%, and a little bit grayish color, 3A3, 4-2A at 100%. Okay. And is this? Yeah, this is working. Okay, nice. So let's move on to sign the image. What we'll actually achieve here is a little bit of a zoom, and you'll see how it looks like. So the opacity set to 0.9. Okay, that brings it a little bit more forward. We're gonna transition opacity here, 0.45 seconds, and transition the transform we'll use in 45 seconds. We're gonna transform the scale and set the scale to be, well, the same, this is basically 100%. But we're gonna change it a little bit during the hover. So warm filter, hover, EMG, change the opacity to 0.4 and transform the scale just a little bit to give that impression of zoom. Okay, and now you can see our gradient way better, right? And you can see that cool zoom effect, right? And we could basically be done with it right now, but we're gonna work a little bit more on that. So warm filter, figure caption, we're gonna add the padding of 3em, add the background color, gonna be 58, 52, 42.7. Okay, and transition, we'll also transition the background color because you can do that. S. Okay, there's nothing there yet, but it will show. About our title, so warm filter H2, I'm gonna add a little bit of margin. Okay, and we're gonna transition transform and transform transform translate 100%. Okay, so it looks like it's overflowing, but that's just an illusion. We're gonna fix it real soon. I'm gonna go with warm filter over and change the background color here to basically the same color, but we're gonna hide it, giving it 0 alpha. Okay, and then we're gonna take that warm filter over H2 and we're gonna put it back in its place. So transform translate y 0. Okay, so now it jumps a little bit. Transform a transition here. Okay, and now it should move up. Okay, because we're changing the translation from 100% to 0. Okay, so that's nice. Next thing, we have to add the before, and we're also gonna do a frame, but a little bit different. This frame here was created from before and after pseudo elements. And as you can see, you have those corners here going across each other. We're gonna go and create a solid frame right now. So that's gonna be actually easier. Filter, figure caption, before, position absolute, 30 pixels everywhere, bottom 30 pixels, border 1px, solid, and we have to specify the content even though it's empty. And here you can see that nice solid frame. We should definitely we should hide it. So warm filter, figure caption before, and I'm gonna also hide the paragraph here. So warm filter P 0 transition the opacity and transform. Okay, and transform. I'm gonna scale it down, nothing, so it doesn't show. Yeah, and then of course I'm gonna take, as you can see, no P, no paragraph, and no border. But if we'll take that and change what's happening on hover, I'll just say the opacity should be 1 and transform scale 1, and it's gonna look like it's popping out of nothing. And yeah, basically that's it. I'm not sure whether no, it doesn't have any impact, so we can get rid of that. I have no idea why I added that. Okay, now it's still the same. Well, we could actually use it. Let me see. Could use it. The image is big and the figure caption. Okay. I would do $58, $52, 42.7. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay. Okay, cool. So your caption should bring it back, I guess. Okay, now it's dark and we should transition it actually, but to take that and transition it to nothing. So I have no idea why that isn't working. We have to take that and disable it. Warm filter over. There's a transition. I can still see that color, so that's bad. Transition. I'm doing something wrong. Back. Is there a typo somewhere? Let me see. Get rid of that, of course. Figure caption. Warm filter. Fig caption. Picpaction. Oh, Jesus Christ. Of course there's a typo. Caption. Yeah. Oh. Now, okay. So now you can see that we can make the shift between the background colors. And now it's dim and dark, and now it's warm and, say, sunny or summery. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. That's how you can create those cool animated cards for your products with use of CSS and React. The next episode, we're gonna work on maybe loading images in React or maybe in a menu in React Router. We'll see. But thank you for that, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Goodbye.